Hey guys, joining from TBIinfinitey, and we got Devlon,
What's up, guys?
and as the title suspects, you know what this is. Chaos. Autodeity Army.
The one thing that everybody hates, but why not? Also, if you're wondering why am I recording at Jalen's house and not my own, I don't got the technology right now,
Mhm.
or the space on my phone to record anything at the moment for myself. So, for my half of the videos, I'm probably gonna be at Jalen's house most of the time. So there we go. So let's get straight into it. So we got the obvious two flags. Got the chaos, infinity to chaos. Of course, you're playing this, and if you're playing this, so yeah, pretty much staple at this point. And then from my buddy, I choose to play Chaos Boss from Driven to Disorder because I love it, because red is my favorite color one, and this boss is basically my favorite card in the deck. This is the reason I made the deck, because I like aggro playstyles and I wanted to play an aggro deck in the meta, which is this deck. So yeah, and TE was an option, but I'm not a fan of TE to begin with. So let's just say I wanted to choose Chaos. So what this Chaos boss does, speaking of this card, he has his call cost 50 gauge. He has the ability Auto DD Army Assemblage, which is at counter speed anytime, pay 1 life, call an Auto DD Army from my hand or a deck by paying its call cost. And if I search my deck, I shuffle the deck. And he has natural double attack, which is amazing. So basically,
And it can't be destroyed in your turn like a boss.
yeah, he got the boss clause. I call it boss clause because that's basically all of them have. Can't
Mhm.
destroy by during your turn. Boom, invincible card on my turn. So yeah. So pretty solid card, pretty good. Helps with a lot of the plays in the deck. Helps with the aggro plays as well. So you know, gotta have them. So yeah, let's put them up here. So let's get into the deck for you guys. Starting off with my one-off tech card I wanted to play in the deck. One copy of Chaos Fanning. Chaos Fanning is a 6/4 size. Okay, they all size 3 is enough. I don't. We ain't
It's
gonna go.
chaos.
Yeah, we ain't go. Unless I'm playing generic Chaos and playing Dragon, everything size 3 enough. Call cost is pay 1 gauge. He has the ability during my turn, all auto DD army cards on my field. Is it cards or monsters? Okay, it's cards. All auto DD army cards on my field cannot be rested, bounce back to hand, or their abilities can't be nullified, which is amazing because it prevents things like let's say Oberon, for example, from nullifying my abilities, or Magic World to bounce my stuff back, or I get rested by Narcolepsy, or Tyrant Binds of a Despot from Tyrants. It prevents any of that from happening to me, so I can actually go through the attack phase and stuff like that. And also he's at 1 because he's searchable by bots. There are there are a lot of auto DD monsters that's played at like lower numbers because they're searchable by bots, so I don't have to worry about playing them at high numbers. And it gives me space for the deck. So yeah, we got one Chaos Fanning. Next up, we got 2 copies of Chaos Force Reclines. Um, there are some non-auto DD monsters in this deck, but they're here for the advantage game, which is nice. So what he does is first off he's a 5/2/6 and he has the ability Heavy Quarry 8. When he hits the field, I put 2 monsters in the spell from my drop zone to the bottom of my deck. If I do, I gain a gauge, draw a card, gain 1 life. I can only use Heavy Quarry 8 once per turn. Um, Basically he's in here for that Dragon Emperor Legends advantage gain and recycling the cards back into my deck. If I like these certain cards to start off with bots, I basically play him, put it back to the bottom. Then during the attack phase, bots is just gonna call out the auto DD armor monster I put back, which is really amazing, really good combo with these two. Um, so yeah, 2 copies of Warsaw Kleins. Let's get into the next card here. We got 2 copies of. Okay, let me just go back around here. Let's do 2 copies of Cavalry Mech Chaos Kegel Bide. He's a 7/7. Call cost is put a monster from my field into his soul and pay 2 gauge. When he enters the field, if I have another auto DD army on my board, I basically take a soul from a card in my opponent's field and deal 1 damage. One thing I like about this card is even if my opponent doesn't have a soul in the card on the board, I can still burn it for 1, which is nice. And if he has a soul, he gets critical +1 and penetrate, so that makes him a 7/7 with penetrate, and he has natural double attack and soul guard. So 7/7 penetrate, double attack, soul guard. Basically, pretty amazing size 3 right there, or pretty amazing card right there. So I got penetrate option right there. I got soul removal option, and I got burn option. There we go, all in 1 card. So yeah, 2 gigabytes. Next up, we play 2 copies of the new guy, Autodeity Conquer Dragon Chaos Gearbots. This is the other bots. I know I got 1 triple, 1 body rare. That's all I could find. I couldn't find 2 triples or 2 body. I'd rather have 2 triples though, but you know, I had to get the body rare because it's the only thing left. It was the only thing that was left. So his call costs pay 1 gauge. During my turn, he cannot be destroyed. Again, he has the bots clause, or the good bots clause, I should say, because there's some bots that can be destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
His ability is GB burst, or I just call it freaking gearbox burst, but you know, let's just call it GB burst, but make it easier for everybody. When he attacks, I stand a card on my field, and for this turn, gives a critical +1, and that's all he does. That little bit just makes him ridiculously strong too, because I call him off of original bots. Original bots gets gearbots. Gearbots swings, stands something up that just attack. For example, let's say Phantom was on the board and swung. So gearbot swings, stand Phantom up, standing swings for 4 crit now instead of 3, which is really amazing. So he extends the attack phase, and that's what I like. That's what I like for an aggro deck, extending the attack phase a little bit longer, making sure my opponent uses up their resources to the point where they can't even defend themselves anymore after more attacks, which is nice. Next up, we play 3 copies of Chaos Tetra. He's my defense option. He's a 5/5, of course, but his ability is first off, he's a Raging Spirit. He redirects all attacks towards him. And second off, his ability is when there's another Autodeity army on my board, he gets +4/+4. So he's a 9/2/9 with he's 9/2/9 that's basically the Raging Spirit effect. So really nice. Got 3 copies of him. So I can have the option of having him, and if I have any in the deck and stuff like that. Like, I don't like running out of them that fast. Even though I do have Orsa clones, I like to have my options in the deck. So, yeah, 3 copies of them. Next up, we got 3 copies of Chaos Daryl Burke. He's pretty much staple in any Chaos deck. I know I have 3. I know somebody's going to be out there and say, why are you not playing 4?
No. A lot of Chaos builds have went down to 3 because he's a hard once per turn, and you can recycle him from the drop a lot, so it's not like he's hard to get off a lot.
True. But there will be that one person. I'm telling you, there will be that one person.
Who cares? Anyway, just go on.
But let's keep going. He has the ability Warrior's Instinct. Basically, when he hits the field, I look at top 3 cards of my deck, put 1 into my hand, put the rest in the drop zone. Pretty simple, pretty broken, pretty good. 7, 2, 3 for stat. So if you thought Tomono Shin was good, I haven't met this man. For those new players, that is, that's players who don't know about this guy. This guy's just ridiculous. So 7, 2, 3. 3 Daryl Burks. Next up, we got 4 copies of my favorite little guy, the prince of all Autodeity armies. Chaos Vegeta. No, my bad. Pentar. Chaos Pentar. Yeah, he does look like Vegeta though. He's 5/2/3 with the ability to replenish next mission. When he enters the field, there's another Autodeity army on my board. Gain a gauge, draw a card, gain a life. So yeah. So basically, just like Orsa Klein's here, he basically does a Dragon Emperor Legend effect, which gives me more advantage gain, more life gain, more gauge and whatnot. So he's really nice, and I play my 4 because I want to always see him. He helps me with my advantage gain every turn. Next up, we got 4 copies of the Buddy. I already explained him at the beginning of the video. There's nothing else to say other than this is the triple rare art, or secret rare art, I should say. So that's it. That's the only thing I can say about him. So yeah, and his flavor text is different. That's all I can say. And in the last monster in the deck, I'm just gonna put them all down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I'm not playing 5 copies of the same Gear God. I just put them all down. Alright, so I call this the Gear God Core, or my preferred Gear God Core I like to play in my deck. So before we get to this guy, we gotta get to these 4. This is Gear God version 1000, 70,000 power, 3 critical, 7,000 defense. Call cost is pay 3 gauge, and put the top card of my deck into his soul. He has Chaos Territory and Silver naturally, and his overturn is discard a card from my hand. If I do, search my deck for up to 1 item, equip it, and search my deck for up to 1 Chaos monster. and call it for free. Oh yeah, the quick cost is free and the call cost is free. Yada yada yada, which is amazing. So basically, what I usually do, I just get Chaos bots and the item mostly. That's like the common thing everybody does, I believe. So yeah. And he actually has one more ability, which is at the beginning of my attack phase. I get to call up to one Chaos monster from my drop zone to the board by paying its call cost. So his regular ability pays the call cost. His overturn doesn't pay. I mean, his overkill doesn't pay the call cost yet. So that's pretty amazing. Pretty solid card. This is the main gear god for Autodeity armies. This is really nice. And then we go into gear god completes. Ultimate Chaos Gear God complete. 10,000 size 10,000. A size that's above 4. What? A size that's above 5? Okay. He has 100,000. Is that 100,000?
Yes, 100,000.
Okay, 100,000 power, 4 critical, and 10,000 defense. In order to call him, I gotta get rid of a Gear God. Yeah, I gotta put him onto a Gear God for my field to drop zone. The other thing I could do here is I could just target him, call him out, use his soul guard, he stays, then he stays. Nice thing. Best thing I can do there. Nice little cheeky thing I can do there. He has the ability. Okay, hold on. Does he have regular ability? Oh, regular ability is Chaos Drain. Never mind. He has Chaos Drain, and he has Overkill Reboot though. What it does is I discard a card from my hand. I call to 3 Chaos monsters from my drop zone to the field without paying their call cost, and I have to do this during my main phase. And he has.
And if you're at what, 3 or less life, you can
Yeah.
make him 10.
Yeah, if I have 3 or less life. Actually, I did that against somebody at a tournament yesterday. Yes, I actually did do 2 tournaments with this deck, and I top 4 in both of them. I came in top 4 in both of them, but yeah. I actually did that second ability for the first time yesterday, so I'm proud of myself here. But away from that, let's just talk about this guy. Natural Chaos Territory, and that's about it for him. Other than the fact that he has 4 crit. So yeah, that's the monster lineup right there. Or that's the monster lineup I choose to go with. There's a bunch of different monster lineups you guys can do. So yeah. Getting into the spells. Start with the spells. I play 2 copies of the Chaos Upgrade. Okay, so before I get some people hunting my neck down real quick, I'm only playing 2, not 4. I think 4 is overkill, not 3. Even though 3 is a good option, probably a better option. But I'm more comfortable with 2 so far because most of the time when I play this deck, I tell you right now, I usually never want this. I usually don't care about getting this guy in the game or not. If I get him, great. If I don't get him, okay. I just stay with him. There were times where most of my games that I won, I basically had him on the board, and I didn't have version 1, and I didn't have Gear God complete most of the time. So I don't completely depend on it, which is why I'm playing the low copy. But I don't have enough draw power to get into it. So when I do get to it, I play. And the reason why I don't play more than 3 is because the wording of this card. You can only play your actual flag as the Chaos. So once you flip up, you can't play this again. You can't play this again just to search another Gear God. You play it once, you're done. It's one and done. That's what this card is. One and done. Gone. So 2 copies of the Chaos Upgrade. And you have to have 10 or more cards and drops are activated, by the way. Just something there. Yeah. Yep. So, yep. Next up, we got 2 copies of Machining Sacrifice. Weird thing about this card I'm going to talk about later. But right now, let's just talk about what it does. I put a size 3 greater? No. I put a monster in general for my field to drop zone. And then the counter ability is call size 3 or greater monster from my drop zone into the board by paying its call cost. And that can only cast it during my opponent's turn. So, pretty solid card. This card's amazing, of course. I only play 2 though, just to make space for my deck for a lot of other things. But yeah, this card's really nice. So one thing I will point out though is, I'm gonna ask a question real quick in the comment section below. Please answer for me, or for my sake, because this happened in the tournament yesterday. For the call cost and the counter ability of this card, can you pay the call cost of putting the monster into their drop zone and then using the counter ability of getting that same monster you put into their drop zone back onto the board? That's a quick question. That's a really question I want answered. In the comment section below, please let me get that answer. Because tournament, the the store owner allowed it to happen. So I don't know if that's really a thing, but you know.
I think it's correct.
Yeah. Well, Jalen thinks it's correct, but I need more.
You want more confirmation?
Yeah, I need some more confirmation, people. But yeah, 2 Wishing Sacrifice. Next up, I got 3 copies of Assault of Autodeity Army. This is the box X link in the deck. 3 more times I attack, I cast it, gauge 2, gain life, get an Autodeity Army card from my drop into my hand. I can only use it once. I can only cast 1 assault once per turn. So basically, amazing card, allows me to get some gauge excel here and there, and get some life there, and then get any of the monsters back from the drop, or maybe an item, maybe an impact that has the attribute and whatnot. So yeah, got 3 copies of it. Next up, we got Population Reduction. 3 copies of it. Cast cost is put a size 3 or greater monster from my field into the drop zone and pay 1 life. Counter, draw 2 cards. Can only use it once per turn. So this card is really good. This card actually helped me out a lot because I did brick a lot of times in that tournament that I had yesterday, and there was times where I had population reduction, casted it just to draw 2, take that risk, draw the 2, and then the 2 draws actually helped out for me. I usually hate doing gambles, but when your hand bricks that hard, you gotta do gambles. Yeah. But for those who's actually building this deck, if you don't have any access to population reduction, because God forbid, because you know X dual chest freaking hardest card to get for some reason, you know, X dual chest not playing a lot. If you can't get your hands on this card, another alternate you can use is one who comes from Havoc, which is the pay 1 gauge, draw 2 if you have 2 or more chaos on the board. So you can probably, from the trial deck, so you can probably use that instead of this as a 3-off if you can't get this. So yeah. But if you could get your hands on this, I highly recommend you getting at least 3 of this or 2 of it or whatever. So yeah, 3 copies of population reduction. Next up, I play 3 Chaos Gear. So basically, it's a simple thing. I cast it, I draw cards equal to the number of monsters on my field, and then discard a card. This card pisses a lot of people off. Pisses a lot of people off just because you just go draw. Let's say you got a deck card in hand and you got 4 monsters on the board. Okay, Chaos Gear, draw 4, discard 1. Now here's the funny thing about this card. It doesn't matter what you discard in terms of monsters. So okay, let's say you discard any random monster, right? Okay. Start of my attack phase. Version 1000. Get back that monster from the I just discarded back into the field. What? Yeah. For example, I could just cast this. Let's say I drew a Darryl Burke. I want to play Darryl Burke, but I don't want to play it. But I like the color cards in my hand. Okay, discard Darryl Burke. Get him attack phase. Version 1000. Call Darryl Burke. Just why? Just why? Why is that so easy? So free. Why is this card free? But whatever, it's chaos. You know, we gotta have something. We gotta have a lot of free stuff, just because we're chaos. But yeah, 3 copies of Chaos Gear. This card is ridiculously good. Again, like I said, I don't play 4 copies of certain staples because I like to have space for everything else.
I don't see a lot of people 4 of that card.
You'd be surprised. But other than that, 3 copies of Chaos Gears. Next up, we got 3 copies of A Ruler's Privilege. I know I'm not white, but I have to have, but I can still play it, okay? But 3 copies of A Ruler's Privilege. Basically, just do one of the 2 things. You have to have 3 or more monsters on the board. Get anything back that's not itself. Still stupid. And counter standard size 3 or greater monster. And that's basically all it does. So yeah. So 3 copies of A Ruler's Privilege. Next up, we got 4 copies of Unfreezing. This is actually a reason I'm playing Darryl Burke at 3, because this card exists. Finally, Bushi. You finally understand people can't get Darryl Burke. You finally understood, and you made a rare, dumbed down version of it. So for 1 life, that's a cast cost. Basically, it does what Darryl Burke does, except putting the cards in the drop zone, puts the rest of the cards to the bottom of the deck. That way I don't have to explain the effect. There you go. That's the effect. Darryl Burke, except put the cards to the bottom of the deck. That's it. You don't even have to show the card. Just get the card. Okay, done. Put it in modern deck. I like this auto DDR more than the other chaos decks because let's say you get like a bunch of auto DD armies off the top three. Okay, you get one of them, put the rest at the bottom. Okay. But they're going. They're at the bottom. I have to wait to get them. No, you don't. You just get them from bots. Bots can go through the deck and get them, right? So yeah. That's why I've been playing 4 of this. This card is amazing, and it's a rare, and it's cheap. So there we go. Have to get the card. So yeah, 4 copies of Rolling Freezing. And then next up, I play 4 copies of my only nullifier in the deck, Chaos Absorption. A lot of people are annoyed at this card. This and Tetra is just like bread and butter. Bread and butter. I can only cast this during the attack attack of my opponent's turn, and if my size 3 is being attacked. So that's why. So just bots cast Tetra onto the board. They have to attack it. Oh look, you attack Tetra, Chaos Absorption. Nullify the attack. If I have 3 or more monsters on the board after that nullify, I gain a gauge in the life. So it's a Sun Dragon shield for if I have 3 or more monsters. So really nice. Gives me like that gauge excel and that life gain. Really good. Next up, we got 3 copies of the main item of the deck, Drag Royale, Chaos Drag Royale. 3/1, cast those, pay 1 life. When an auto DD army, I think it's monster card. When an auto DD army monster enters my field, I draw a card. I can only use the effect once per turn. So you know what I say to that? I go, okay, I call a monster. Okay, done. Pay life. Call another, equip another, call another monster, get another draw. Because apparently that's a thing.
Can't have not hard ones per turn.
Exactly. And it can attack even if I have a monster in the center, because it's chaos. You gotta have something that attacks to the center, right? And it's a 3/1, so pretty good. 3K power, pretty alright. Could kill Daryl Burks if you're playing a mirror match. I don't know. Kill all the stuff that you can kill. I don't know. But yeah, this card is pretty solid, pretty good. Helps with the draw power, because this deck doesn't have enough draw power apparently. but I digress. So we got 3 copies of that. And then last but not least, we got 2 Chaos Tempest Busters. So it's basically Thunderlance X Tempest. It's basically Thunderlance X Tempest Buster, except you have to attack 4 more times, and just your opponent has to have no center. Pay 3 H, burn 5, all that stuff. Damage can't be reduced, all that stuff. Unrevivable. Can't be nullified. Can't be anything. The only thing that gets over this is Buddy X Cross. That's it.
But it's anything that just like T shit. The key, Buddy X Cross.
Oh yeah, I had to send some effect from freaking prisons.
Well, they would still take the damage, but they just don't lose unless they literally can't gain the life or win next turn or something.
I'm saying they can get. I mean, they get the chance.
It's a chance.
They get the 1 chance. So yeah, only cards to get around it. But of course, what happens? He had more options than prisons to survive impacts like this. I'm just saying. But other than that, let me just get that out the way. But yeah, dumbest impact right now. Well, one of the dumbest impacts. There are more dumb ones. One of the dumbest impacts in the game right now. Just easy, breathing air. Just breathe air, and you should be fine. You're good. Okay. So yeah, there we go. That is the Auto DD Army deck profile for you guys that you've been waiting for. Actually, before we finish, let's explain the flag, because I didn't even explain the flag. I'm not used to explaining flags. It's too new. So this is Infinity the Chaos. In order to get it, you have to play the Chaos Upgrades. The Chaos Upgrade flips it over. You get this out. It's counted as a card in your board. It's like a second item, if anything. So you just think of yourself having a dual equipped item or something. I don't know. 10,000 power, very critical. 10,000 defense. It has the same ability as the original flag. All the stuff that's on this flag is on this flag.
But now you have a size gap of infinity.
Oh yeah, now you have a size gap of infinity. You can attack even if you have a monster in the center. This flag can't be moved from your flag area. It can't. They can't. Basically, let's just say Plague can't hit this flag. Okay, Plague can't hit this flag. If they pandemic, it can't flip them over. It can't flip it face down. It can't be touched. It can't be anything. Let me just read this thing already. Let me see. It cannot be destroyed. It cannot leave the flag area. Its abilities cannot be nullified. And it can attack even 5 monsters in the center. So, this flag is literally indestructible and invincible. You can rest it if you have a card that says you can rest a card on the board and not item, because it's not an item, it's a flag. So, it's invincible. This card's ridiculous. This card's stupid. Why is it got 10-3-10 for stats? Please tell me why it has 10-3-10 for stats. Like, I could just play Gearbox. Gearbox could stand this up and give it 4 crit. What the f Okay, so yeah. That's the actual end of the deck profile for you guys. There you go.
If you guys like this video, subscribe to me for more Buddyfight content. We'll see you guys later.
Later, guys.